All right, so I want to talk about my game development journey. For the most part, it's been super fragmented. I kind of been struggling to more or less, first of all, sit through a video. Um, I struggle with just first of all, finding a game engine, finding something that I like to use. I tried Love 2D. I tried Godot. I tried Default. I tried Unity. I tried a bunch. I don't remember the other shit. I don't know if it was Boom. I don't know what it was, but I tried some of the other stuff. Oh, I tried Phaser. Um, I tried hacks. I mean, not really tried hacks because I was looking into hacks and I was like, yo, what the hell is this? So I tried hacks Flixo. But all in all, I tried Excalibur. Excuse me. So I tried a bunch of different shit. Um, each has their own different problems. One of the things I've kind of realized is there isn't a perfect solution. Um, Hell, there's even like I even had a thing where I was like, man, maybe it's the language, man. I've got to find the right language. And then I started messing around with, learning about a little bit of this language, a little bit of that. But I'm like going everywhere, but like the direction I want to head at and actually make games. Part of the reason why I've been really struggling with make games is because AI exists and AI is so tempting. And I mean, I could sit down and code, or I could understand the code more or less and direct it. But then that's kind of the other thing, though. I sort of realize is that I mean, I tried watching tutorials. I'm the type of person that I want to do, right? I just want to do shit, right? And so I said, fuck the tutorials. Let me just go build shit. Let's see what happens. Um, and so I just start tackling shit. I start building stuff. I've built a bunch of stuff, but I still haven't built a game because eventually I just start building these monstrosities, right? I'd be learning stuff that I realize now that I'm like I shouldn't have bothered. I've been trying to wrap my head around the gameplay loop, as crazy as that sounds. Like I'm in my head, I'm like I'm building the game, but I don't really understand how to approach building a game because I always keep building these monstrosities, and you know, I'm the type of person that follows what their interests are, and I want to make RPGs and whatnot. But an RPG though, it's not really visual. A lot of the stuff is in the back end. It's like game logic. And then I start building these knots and these monstrosities that I don't even understand. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I'm not getting better. I definitely got better, you know. I started learning about, like, how to improve my variable names. But then the other shit, though, is I started learning about game programming patterns, start implementing these patterns when I don't even have the problem. So I'm preemptively building these patterns, or I'm building like a stupid ass state machine, right, to manage state when I don't even really have a gameplay that even needs it. And so I'm building all this complexity, overwhelming myself, building these monstrosities of code bases, and I keep doing it over and over and over and over again. You know, or I start, and I think one of my biggest issues is that I keep building horizontally, you know, and I still can't see it. You know, I think I'm going forward, but I might be going diagonally, which in my mind I'm like, oh, I'm still heading forward, but then eventually the diagonal becomes horizontal. Because the thing is, like, I mean, I know people talk about AI and stuff, but like AI is really good at making something that looks like it works, right? But once you start diving in and you're really trying to do stuff, you start having these issues. And I don't even like vibe coding. I think like AI is really great for scaffolding and stuff like that. but like there's still some hardcore like decision making. So I've been taking a bit more notes, but then I had to really just sit down and say, yo, I gotta learn the ins and out of a language. So all in all, I mean, I don't really care about best programming language or any of that stuff. I just want to make stuff, and I think the best choice right now, especially with AI, like I mean, once there's like some open models, is probably just sit down, learn JavaScript, maybe use HTML Canvas, build something of my own engine, because the truth of the matter is, I mean, I have so much issues with everything that it's kind of like, fine, I'll build it myself, right? That's like the mentality. But I'm doing everything but building a game. I'm learning everything but building the fucking game, bro. Everything but that. Like, I'm doing all this shit but the game, bro. I get caught up in these side quests, like, bro. I was making a game, and eventually I start making a map editor, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, bro! Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? But then my biggest issue is that like I struggle so much with like code base management and just understanding the code base and whatnot. And I'm like, bro, like I gotta get good at making games, and that's been a challenge. But I said, but I'm tired of AI, bro. The issue with AI to me is, so my biggest issue with AI, honestly, is it's really cool when you have a blank project. It's really cool for turning nothing into something. But once you have that something, the shininess disappears, because once you start actually building, right, going deeper into that like new project, that's when the problems really start showing up, and you realize there was such a shitty, shaky foundation. What I'm doing right now, I said, fuck it, bro. Let me just use Codex. I like, I can't like, right now I'm doing like a course. I forgot the guy's name, but he's building like a reusable data oriented JavaScript project or whatever. So I'm like, bet. Because one of the things I realized is I don't like OOP, especially for games and all that stuff. I think a data oriented approach is a lot more manageable for me, because OOP can get really confusing, right? And I think modularity is one of the best things to do, because to me, the issue with game programming is that it's not just the game itself, but it's even like building the game. It's a lot of like issues, you know what I mean? And you know, the programming itself, because the thing is, a game is, it's like you're creating your own puzzle, your own prison in a way, you know, you're creating your own hell. You have to figure out how to express what's in your brain into code, into a game. Now the AI is great for visualizing, but you still need to verbalize what you want to say, and that's hard, you know what I mean? AI is definitely a magnifier, but that's it. Like, I mean, you could definitely vibe code your way to a game, but it's boring, because you have to use the user interface and say, no, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Or if you use a terminal and you have AI, right? First of all, if you're like me and you're figuring things out as you go, your directions are not going to be the best, and then you slowly have to like figure out what the issues are. But I guess I lost track of the point. But my point is, though, my biggest issue with AI, though, and especially vibe coding. I know some people like to sit down and type shit, right? And I get that. For me, I don't like doing that shit that much. Maybe like the scaffolding. I like the planning and figuring out how to go at it, I guess. But I would much rather if AI could just do like maybe like the scaffolding for me. Because my issue is with vibe coding, or if you're using AI to like do the code, most of your time is gonna be like, you have to read. Like, you can just say fuck it and not read it, fine. But if you do care about what you're doing, it's boring because now instead of like being something active, like you could just type your code and then you don't really have to review it like that. I mean, maybe eventually, but for the most part, you type your code and you're basically reviewing it as you type. But if AI writes the code, right? That's the biggest issue. If AI is writing the code, it's not interactive anymore. You're reading a goddamn essay. Literally a gross looking essay, bro. Like, and I hate that no one wants to do that. I bet you no one. That's why people are not reading over the AI code, bro. No one wants to read thousands of lines of fucking hieroglyphics. You know what I mean? No one wants to read that shit, bro. And then if you do read it, you're like, oh my fucking god, bro, because it's never what you had in mind, right? Unless you're that articulate with your words. And if you are, teach me, show me how to be articulate with my words. But if you're anything like me, I'm like God, bro. Like man, like it's so tedious and annoying. But now, I mean, if you're not taking that seriously and you're like watching YouTube videos and then the AI is doing it, it's not that bad, right? But man, if you're like trying to do something you care about and it's like, you know what I mean? But if your brain is off, I, and your brain is somewhere else, and then you don't get like too heated, you're like whatever. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Um, so I was using Claude, right? But then Opus 4.8 was so ass that I decided to use like Codex. And I mean, Codex is definitely not bad, but my god, bro, like it's Codex is stressful in a different way, but fuck, bro, like Codex, you have to be so fucking explicit. And if I'm just like coming up with something, Codex is terrible at intention and it could grossly misunderstand you. For example, I wanted to create something like leak code so I could drill programming concepts for game development, right? Because I think that's the best way. Like, it's tough building a game. It's much better to drill input and stuff like that and get the muscle memory going. But bro, it created a visual. So I got Codex. I decided I had the goal thing, and I told it explicitly what I wanted. And I put the goal, forgot about it, came back, bro. It ran for hours. I mean, the token count is really cool, but it ran for hours, and it never built it. Like it built it, but the entire thing was UI. Like it looked like an application for drilling, but everything was written into the UI, so it was non-interactable, right? Or if it was interactable, it was like pre-orchestrated. So ultimately, it was absolutely useless because there was not like a crumb of logic. You know what I mean? Nothing. And I was like, fuck, bro, what the fuck? Like I was like, damn, man, like I don't know, like. And it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you actually wanted to use it. I'm like, what the hell did I fuck up? So I don't know, man. Like, and also the Codex's UI abilities is like so subpar. You know what I mean? So subpar. But it is what it is. I'm sitting down. I said I'm gonna go really learn JavaScript for game development and actually make stuff for fun, and we'll see what happens. Right? Bye.